Welcome to Health in Focus. I'm Dr. Thomas, and I'm here to help you build strong legs, reliable balance, and safe steps using simple routines you can repeat at home every day. Today, we're starting from the beginning, aligning your posture, preparing your space, and mastering the most important exercise for those seeking independence after 60. The sit to stand. First of all, organize your space by removing loose rugs, placing a stable chair, ideally against the wall, and making sure the floor is firm. Wear comfortable sneakers or go barefoot if the floor isn't slippery. Keep water nearby and a curious mind, because every technical detail you learn here will translate into daily movements that feel lighter and safer. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Subscribe to the channel and leave your like to support the video. It helps this content reach more people over 60 who need these practical tips. Let's warm up in 2 minutes to activate the joints and nervous system without tiring out. Take 3 deep nasal breaths, expanding your ribs to the sides, and slowly exhale through your mouth as if fogging a mirror. Do 10 slow circles in each direction with your ankles. Then do 2 gentle practice sit-to-stand movements just to recognize the height of the seat and feel how your feet are grounded. Now, the starting position for the sit-to-stand. Stand in front of the chair with your feet parallel and hip-width apart. Feel the tripod of your foot, heel, base of the big toe, and base of the little toe firmly connected to the floor. Lengthen your spine as if someone is pulling you from the top of your head. Relax your shoulders downward and extend your arms in front of you at chest height to act as a counterbalance. The biomechanical secret that protects your knees and activates your glutes is simple. First, send your hips backward, as if your butt is looking for the chair. Only then bend your knees as much as needed. Lower yourself slowly until you touch the seat without collapsing. Pause briefly to kill the momentum, then rise by pushing the floor through your heels. Keep your chest open, your gaze forward, and your spine long at the top. Don't lean your torso backward. Rhythmic breathing is your ally. Inhale as you go down and exhale as you come up, as this stabilizes your core and helps keep blood pressure in check. If your knees start to cave inward, think about spreading the floor with the soles of your feet, like stretching out a rug with your feet, and feel your hip muscles activate. If you rise onto your toes unintentionally, shift your weight back to your heels before standing up. If it feels hard, raise the seat with a firm cushion for a few days. If it feels easy, start standing 2 fingers before touching the seat to increase control. And let me know in the comments how many controlled repetitions you can do today without using your hands. I'll use your number to adjust future goals. Why is this exercise the engine of independence? Because it replicates the most common movement pattern in your daily life. Getting up from the toilet, rising from an armchair, getting out of bed. When you perform the movement with intention, your hips become the main driver again. Your knees act as guides, not points of strain. Your ankles learn to stay glued to the floor, and your brain reclaims the stability map. The practical result after just a few weeks? Less effort to stand up, less fear of tripping, and more confidence when climbing a step. Let's polish the technique with 3 easy-to-remember cues. Grow your head tall, self-lengthening of the spine. Open your chest without flaring your ribs, shoulder blades down and settled, and keep your heels firmly on the floor, foot tripod active. With these 3 alone, half the problems disappear. If your lower back starts complaining, check if you're leaning your torso too far forward. Push your hips back first, keep your chest proud, and activate your glutes at the top for 1 second. If you feel discomfort in your knees, reduce the range of motion, raise the seat a bit, and reinforce the idea of sitting the hips down before bending your knees, because what protects the knees is your glutes doing their job. To measure progress without a spreadsheet, write in a notebook the seat height. For example, standard chair or with a cushion. Total number of reps for the day, and a rating for how it felt. Light, moderate, or challenging. Also note 2 real-life indicators. Today I stood up from my chair without using my hands, and today I climbed a step without hesitation. When these yes moments start appearing, motivation stops being about willpower and becomes about clear evidence. And comment below, in which part of your daily routine do you most want to feel a difference with this training? Getting off the couch, standing from the toilet, getting in and out of the car, or climbing stairs? I'll read and respond to help guide your next goal. A safe, week-by-week progression follows the golden rule of one variable at a time. Either add 2 reps to your daily total, or keep the same number and increase the descent time to 3 seconds, or keep everything the same and begin the ascent just before touching the seat. Never change everything at once. Consistency is more important than heroism. If one day you're low on energy, apply the minimum viable. A short, well-executed set is enough to preserve the habit and send the message to your body. Hydration and sleep are your silent allies. Water throughout the day and a simple nighttime wind-down routine help your muscles respond better to training. Muscle grows during rest, not during the workout. And of course, protein spread throughout your meals helps with recovery without needing expensive supplements. Think of a portion the size of your palm in each main meal, in your own way, and according to your preferences. Now, a real-time micro-routine for you to try right away. Adjust the chair. Do 6 slow reps, counting 3 seconds to go down, 1 second pause, and 2 seconds to come up. Rest 1 minute and repeat 6 more reps, always keeping your heels grounded and chest open. If you felt steady, do a 3rd round. At the end, walk slowly around the room for 1 minute, paying attention to how your foot lands from heel to midfoot without slapping the floor. And tell me in the comments how your legs feel now. Activated, the right amount of tired, more stable? Heel raises with chair support. Health in Focus with Dr. Thomas. If in part 1 you and I rebuilt your standing motor with the sit-to-stand movement, now we're going to give your step the break and the push it was missing by strengthening your calves and ankles, so that every walk becomes more stable, more confident, and safer. This second pillar is simple to perform, fits in any corner of the house, and directly addresses real daily situations, like stopping before the curb without tripping, regaining balance when the floor is slippery, and stepping up the first stair without feeling your leg give out. Set up your space, just like we've discussed on Health in Focus. A solid chair against the wall, no loose rugs on the floor, good lighting, comfortable shoes or barefoot if the floor is safe, water nearby, and a calm, curious mindset. Stand behind or beside the chair and rest only your fingertips on the backrest. Remember, the support is like a handrail for safety, not a crutch. So use a light touch, keep a tall posture, shoulders relaxed and dropping down, neck long and eyes fixed on a point ahead. Align your feet hip-width apart, keeping the tripod of the foot pressed into the floor. Heel, base of the big toe, and base of the little toe, and lightly activate your core, like a natural belt that organizes your pelvis. Now, let's get to the golden move. Slowly rise onto the balls of your feet as if you're trying to grow a few centimeters taller. Hold for a moment at the top, feeling your calves contract, then lower back down in slow motion until your heels gently touch the floor without bouncing. Because true quality lies in the controlled descent, which trains your Achilles tendon and ankle to absorb and return energy efficiently. Breathe with rhythm. Inhale while still at the bottom, and exhale gently as you complete the descent, keeping your torso stable without swaying, knees extended but not locked, and hips still throughout the movement. Why does this work so well after 60? Because your ankles are the first line of defense for balance, and your calves are the fine-tuned brake of your step. When your foot hits an uneven surface, it's your calf that holds the body from falling and gives your brain that extra half-second to correct. And when you need to move forward with purpose, it's the calf that pushes off the ground to propel your step, reducing strain on your thighs. By training controlled heel raises, you restore this elastic intelligence to your ankle-calf system. As a bonus, it improves leg circulation, reduces the feeling of fatigue after a grocery trip, and eliminates that uncomfortable wobble that makes you afraid of falling. Do your first set with me now, counting 3 seconds to rise, 2 seconds to pause at the top, and 3 seconds to lower down. Aim for 8 to 12 well-executed reps, rest for 60 to 90 seconds, and repeat 2 to 3 sets depending on your energy today. Always remembering that quality beats quantity. If today your balance feels unsteady, Move your feet a little closer to the chair, place both hands on the backrest, and reduce the range of motion. Next week, you can increase it. If it feels too easy, subtly step your feet farther from the chair to reduce your reliance on support. Keep the 2-second pause at the top and lower even slower. Slowly now. Pay attention to 3 common mistakes and the corrections I use in the clinic. Swinging your torso to gain momentum means your calves are tired, so reduce your rep count by 2 and prioritize a slower descent. Rising too high and curling your toes signals excess pressure on the forefoot, so go up only as far as you can while keeping your foot tripod aligned and controlling the way down. Because technical elegance builds strength that transfers to real life. Letting one side rise more than the other shows asymmetry, so focus on pressing the floor evenly with both feet and fix your gaze on a stable point ahead to reduce swaying. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from and how many controlled reps you managed in your first set. Because I, Dr. Thomas, will use your number to set realistic goals for your next week on Health in Focus. Let's go further and unlock smart progression in 4 levels that fit any routine. Level 1 is the basic bilateral execution we just did. Level 2 adds time under tension, with a 3 to 4 second descent. Level 3 keeps the 2-second pause at the top and asks you to hold a glass of water in the other hand to train stability without squeezing the chair. And Level 4, once your form is flawless, alternates 1 bilateral set with 1 unilateral set, using only a light toe tap on the other foot for safety, without shifting weight, to fully wake up the ankle stabilizers. How do you know when to move up a level? The golden rule of Health in Focus. 2 sessions in a row with beautiful form and no more sway than you had at the start unlock the next step. We've talked about feet, ankles, and calves, but breathing is also a key element, as it organizes your body's central axis and helps reduce neck tension. Practice 3 cycles of rib cage breathing before each set. Inhale through your nose for 4 to 5 seconds, feeling your ribs expand to the sides, and exhale for 5 to 6 seconds as if blowing out a candle without putting it out completely. This calms the nervous system's alarm signals, improves movement accuracy, and even helps regulate blood pressure during effort. Hydration also really matters for your calves, which act as a second heart pump to return venous blood to your torso. So take your water seriously throughout the day and avoid training right after a large meal so your stomach doesn't weigh down your posture. You might be wondering if it's worth doing this exercise every day during the 60-day challenge. The short answer is yes, as long as you respect your form and how your body feels. Make sure to have at least 1 day a week with 30% less volume, a technique day, when you do shorter sets, slow descents, and absolute focus on foot alignment. This keeps the tendon happy, improves proprioception, and prevents fatigue from building up. For those who walk around the neighborhood, strong calves completely change the experience of walking up and down ramps. Your step becomes elastic, cushioned, and energy efficient, so you come home less out of breath because each push against the ground gives you more distance. For dance lovers, this is the joint that gives lightness to spins and lateral moves, reducing the fear of twisting your foot. And for garden lovers, rising onto your toes with control saves your lower back, because your whole body works together to reach a high shelf or plant. To wrap up today's session, repeat your excellence tripod silently in your mind. Rise slowly, pause with presence, and lower as if your heel were made of porcelain. This builds a golden standard in your system that the brain starts to replicate automatically in daily life. And with a short 1-minute cool-down walk around your home, pay attention to how your foot lands from heel to midfoot without slamming the floor. Then stretch your calf on the wall for 20 to 30 seconds per side without forcing it, and take 3 long breaths to seal the session. And leave your public commitment in the comments now. Seated knee extensions. Now let's bring it all together by strengthening the brake at the front of the thigh, the quadriceps. This is the muscle that holds your knee steady when you need to stop suddenly, that slows your descent on stairs without slamming your heel, and that keeps your step stable when walking on uneven ground. Prepare like a professional would. Keep your environment safe and well lit, with a stable chair, a non-slippery floor, water nearby, and sit firmly at the edge of the seat. Keep your spine long, chest open without flaring your ribs, shoulders relaxed and down, eyes softly looking forward. Lightly rest your hands on the sides of the seat for stability. and place your feet parallel, hip-width apart, fully grounded on the floor. The foot tripod still applies, even while seated. Heel, base of the big toe, and base of the little toe, because an awake foot helps align the knee and hip. This is a precision movement. Slowly extend your right leg forward until the knee is straight, but not locked. Imagine gently lifting your kneecap upward by contracting your thigh. Hold for a moment at the top, feeling the quad engage. Exhale as you maintain control and slowly lower the leg until the foot touches the ground. Then repeat with the left leg, alternating like a calm metronome. No swaying your torso, no pushing your chin forward. Breathe with rhythm. Inhale on the way down. Exhale as you extend. Why does this work so well after age 60? Because the front of the thigh is the knee's handbrake and the bridge between a strong hip and a stable ankle. When you strengthen your quadriceps with control, your knee stops wobbling inward, that sense of insecurity on stairs decreases, and your step lands softly, no stomping. Additionally, the seated extension improves local circulation, reduces morning stiffness, and wakes up the neuromotor pathway that connects the brain to the leg, essential for reacting quickly when the sidewalk catches you off guard. Let's fine-tune your form with 3 simple cues I use in the clinic. Lightly push down on the seat with your hands to activate your torso without holding your breath. Gently point your toes slightly toward you at the top to increase leverage without overdoing it, and keep your knee aligned with your second toe. This prevents it from collapsing inward. If your hip starts to rotate, check that you're not twisting your leg to cut in line on the effort. Bring your knee back in line and reduce the range of motion for a few reps until your form is clean. Tough in the beginning? That's okay. Do half extensions for a few days to build confidence, then move on to full extensions. Too easy? Hold for 2 to 3 seconds at the top, lower over 3 to 4 seconds, and feel your thigh working like a controlled brake. Tell me in the comments now which leg feels weaker or shakes more at the top, right or left, because that info guides the fine adjustments I'll bring in the next Health in Focus session. Let's talk safe progression, because the quadriceps responds best to structure. Start with 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per leg, alternating right and left, resting 60 to 90 seconds between sets. When you complete 3 solid sets with great form for 2 sessions in a row, increase only 1 variable per week, never all at once. Either add 2 total reps, hold 1 second longer at the top, or make your descent 1 second slower. If you want a simple guide, follow the 3-1-3 method. 3 seconds to lift, 1 second pause, 3 seconds to lower. Because your knee learns better when your brain senses both time and direction. Common mistakes and quick fixes that protect your joint. Kicking the leg up quickly and letting it drop turns the exercise into a swing, not strength. So apply the porcelain rule on the way down, as if your ankle were fragile and you needed to land the heel gently. Leaning your torso back to help lift the leg is a sign that your thigh is tired. So reduce the range for 5 reps to regain control, then go back to full extension. Turning the foot outward makes the movement easier but pushes the knee inward. So lift the toes slightly, align your knee with your second toe, and let the thigh truly take on the work. Losing your breathing rhythm increases neck tension and raises your perceived effort level. So keep your exhale soft during the lift. This helps organize your core and takes the strain off your neck. And go ahead and comment if you manage to keep your descent slow during the last 3 reps, because that's where the real progress happens. The rest is just warm-up. Here are some safe and common clinical adaptations. If you have a knee prosthesis cleared by your doctor, start with a short range of motion and total focus on control quality without locking at the top, progressing only when you clearly feel stable. Patellar pain when rising from the couch may improve with this seated extension, because it activates the inner quadriceps and puts the knee back on track. But if sharp pain occurs during the exercise, stop, breathe, reduce the range by half, and retest. And leave a comment telling me what sensation was most dominant, firmness, heat, or trembling, so I can fine-tune the next set of instructions. How to integrate the knee extension into what we've already practiced. After a set of sit-to-stands, seated extension acts as an educational break, telling your knee it needs to control the return to the chair. That's why I like to prescribe sequences A and B. In A, you perform the sit-to-stand, rest 1 minute, and then do the knee extensions. In B, you repeat the pattern. This creates a direct transfer to real life, because the same control you feel in the leg's descent shows up when lowering your hips to the seat. When paired with the heel raises from part 2, the knee extension helps refine foot placement. Your heel lands gently, the midfoot accepts the load without impact, and the knee locks in on axis, allowing the hip to push into the floor. That's the coordination that reduces tripping. To measure progress without overcomplicating things, write down how many reps per leg you did today with a slow descent and how many needed reduced range. Reassess in 7 days using the same chair and foot position. If you can add 2 reps or hold 1 second longer at the top with the same quality, congratulations. That's real progress your body will use out in the world. And tell me in the comments which step of the progression you're on. Half range, full range, pause at the top, or 3-second descent. That way I can calibrate your next steps. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.